Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator and channel news updates and add-ons. And today guys, we are going to be going over quite a few different things. First we'll start with some channel news, then we'll talk about some updated aircraft. Then we'll get into a couple tips and tricks such as changing cockpit liveries even with mods installed that I want to show you guys. Somebody was asking me about. And then finally I want to show you guys something really cool that I found, a neat tool that enhances the airport scenery much like we saw from Mr. X in X-Plane 11. Alright, so first up in channel news is the VR optimization guide that I released late last week. This guide has received a tremendous positive feedback, and people are reporting performance increases not just in Microsoft Flight Simulator but in other VR simulations as well. Specifically that I've seen reported as DCS World. I will say that many of these settings helped me in DCS World as well improve my VR experience. So make sure you guys check that out. Link will be in the description below. If you are still someone who is struggling with VR performance and you haven't seen this video, give it a shot and let me know what your feedback is. I'd be eternally grateful. Next on the list is version 2.2 of the Overkill's A320 guide is now available for download for Patreon subscribers of tier 2 and above, and anyone who has donated via the PayPal link of $10 or more. If you have already downloaded the guide previously from donation, just use the link that was previously provided and you guys can get an update. For anyone who is not aware what the A320 guide is, it is a guide that walks you through everything from creating the flight plan all the way to landing the aircraft and shutting it down. The flight goes from Tucson International in Arizona to Los Angeles, California. Again, it is a very detailed step-by-step guide that walks through every single process from start to finish. Honestly, you could actually use the guide by itself without anything else. There's that much information in it. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. Last in channel news, again, late last week, I did release a video that was a review of Frontier Pilot Simulator. It is a really cool simulation that actually caught me by surprise. I was very skeptical of it at first, but found myself truly enjoying the simulator. Again, a link will be in the description below. If you guys are looking for something a little bit different, it's still in development, but the community seems to be very much so involved with the development, and the developers are listening to the feedback. I would say on 95% of the topics. Obviously some things either can't be avoided or, just have to be worked as is. But again, if you guys are interested in a new take of flight simulation, I highly suggest you check out the video. Again, link in the description below. Moving on to news for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the Cessna 152 by JP Simulations has been updated. So if the Cessna 152 is an aircraft that you enjoy flying, I highly suggest that you check out this update if you haven't already. It adds many new features to the aircraft and updates that were much desired upon release that weren't available. He has done a great job with keeping the aircraft up to date and applying hotfixes as the patches come out. So again, if the Cessna 152 is your pride and joy or something you enjoy flying, go ahead and download the mod in the link below and enjoy your flight experience. Next up on our list here is the Kairi, I hope I said that right, but Kairi 747 mod. Much like the Salty Simulations mod, this Kairi 747 adds many features such as autopilot adjustments, ground handling, taxi, etc., as well as the autopilot functionality and some other functionality in the cockpit that is not otherwise available. I have found this to be a very fantastic mod for the 747 and is definitely heading in the right direction. There's been quite a few updates to the mod since its release, and I was very pleased to see it in action. The 747, I think, is an aircraft that it will always be popular in flight simulation, and was truly shocked at how unfortunately poor quality it was at the time of release. Now, that's no fault of Asobo. I get that there are things to be done, but here's a look at the options that are available down below. Feel free to pause the screen and check out the patch notes as they are displayed. Alright, so next on the list is quite a few people have asked how I got the beige cockpit interior for my A320 the other day. So what I want you guys to do is, unfortunately the beige cockpit interior for the A320, for whatever reason that download has become hidden, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. However, I'm going to show you guys how to do this in general. So we're going to use the TBM 930. Alright, so here's the TBM 930 default livery. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to change it to this. Now, mind you, I do use a TBM 930 mod. We're not going to mess with the mod, but we're going to do this in a way where this livery should lay on top of the other mod rather than modifying it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to Files, And again, a link for this will be down in the description below. And Nexus Mod seems to be a really good location for stuff like this. And we're just going to do a manual download. And hit slow download. Doesn't take long. See? Already done. Alright. And then from here, let's go ahead and take a look at installing it. Alright, so what I've done so far is I just extracted this folder. We're just going to open it up, and you can see it always starts with Z. Now, JD is really good about this. He makes a lot of these mods. The reason why we want to set it up as Z is because the mod structure works in layers, all right? And so by setting a Z in front of it, and this works for any mod that you need to work like this, by setting a Z in front of it, you force it to be loaded at the very end, okay? So by doing so, we will get the cockpit loaded first, any mods that we have second, and then the livery at the very end to lay on top of everything else without disrupting any of the functionality. All right, so let's open up, make sure that's it. All right, so I'm going to take this guy. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to go to my mods directory. I'm going to drop it in here. Then I'm going to use my mod manager, my add-on linker. You can see it needs to be refreshed. And I'm simply going to activate the mod. Now notice my TBM 930 mod is still here from, and it's actually not working title. I mistitled that. Was it working? No, it's not working title. Can't remember who it was. But unfortunately it doesn't make it anymore, which is bumming me out. But anyway, it still works great as is. So, even though I still have this mod here, this will lay on top of this versus interrupting it or getting out of sequence. Now, if I didn't label this correctly, this would actually load first, then the TBM 930, and the textures likely wouldn't work. All right, so now let's go ahead and check out our new livery in the simulator. All right, and as you can see now, we have our TBM 930 cockpit livery, which is very nice, I might add. Definitely adds a little bit more finesse to an already amazing aircraft. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. I've got something next to show you that I think you guys are going to really like. And finally on our list today is the Airports Texture Enhancers, so Enhanced Airports Graphics by Zenartech. It does have a about a $15 US price tag on it, but nothing too bad, 13.99 euros. And what it does is it changes the airport textures, much like we saw in in X-Plane 11 with Mr. X's airport enhancements. We're seeing something very similar here. And actually, before that, we should probably see what everything does here. So first thing we're going to do is, after you purchase it, you can download this executable here. We're just going to give it a quick run. That's fine. Run anyway. All right, so let's walk through the installation. Actually, I'll move this off for a second, guys. Go ahead and register it. All right, after we've registered it, we just need to find our communities folder. So in this case, we're going to be looking for, what am I looking for? This PC, B, applications, helps when I remember where it is. Ah. There we go. Let's try that again. Custom folders, packages, community folder. Hit OK. And next. Next. And let's let it rock through its thing. All right. So all we need to do now is hit exit. Let's check the community folder. See what installed. Airport Graphics and Airport Graphics 2. Now it does come with a guide, or a link to a guide, that we can see here. So those are the two folders that should be installed, and so now all that's left is to jump into the sim. Alright, and as you guys can see here, this is the original texturing. Still awesome, so you guys have to look real closely. Watch the runways, watch taxi lines, markings and textures, exterior areas to the runways and lines. Here we are in San Francisco. Again, same behavior. I, for one, am very impressed with the improvement and think it's a very nice welcome to the simulator. Fortunately, as we all know, or may not know, runaway and taxi lights are always on during the day and unfortunately cannot be removed as they are hard-coded into the sim. That's something that only a Sobo can adjust. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. There's much more to come this year. I can't tell you guys how eternally grateful I am for all the support and love and great responses that I've had in 2020. You guys have made an awesome year. I'm blown away by it, and I promise to continue working forward and bring you guys another good year of content. Stay with me, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.